You know, there's one thing that has been going on. It's been going on for several years now, and people are getting hip to it. I've been the victim of it. There's a lot of young people can't get jobs. You look on the internet, you look in the newspapers, if you still do that. People still do that, I don't know. But a company will say, jobs, we're hiring, you know, and you get all excited, you do a little research, you go to these people, and they're not hiring. The jobs don't exist. And from what I understand, they do this for a couple of reasons. They're either just gathering data on you to sell to somebody else, or they're just artificially making their company look a lot more profitable than it really is. It's probably a little bit of both. And one time, this kind of had a little different spin on it. I applied for a job at Goodwill. And man, you know, what I saw, I'm just not a fan of Goodwill anymore. I got to tell you, very underhanded. But this was for a truck driver. This was a truck driving position for one of their distribution centers. Now, this is how it worked. They had a fleet of these small box trucks. And what you do, if you don't want to go to Goodwill, you can call up these centers and say, hey, I got some stuff, come on by and pick it up. And it's a free service. And I see this ad, truck drivers. Well, I've got a perfect driving record. I've driven trucks before. Everything except big rigs. You know, I've driven, 26-foot box trucks. I'm air brake rated, you know, that kind of thing. And these tiny little diesel box trucks, I mean, anybody can drive them. Anybody. So I go in and apply for this job, and the first thing I noticed was there was about 50 other people there. And there's no way. I mean, how many were they hiring? Why can't they just say, 2-3 positions available and, save everybody a lot of time? So I go, and we had to do a test. We had to do a little math test. I don't know why. And we also had to prove that we could read a map. They gave us a map with a list of addresses on it, and, pinpoint on the map where all these addresses are. I know how to do that. Now, here was the real kicker. They wanted you to go out on a shift with one of the actual drivers so you could just get the feel for the job. Well, that was a motherfucking lie right there. What they're doing is getting an unpaid shift out of you to help the driver. It's a scam for unpaid labor. Fuck Goodwill. Fuck Goodwill.